Hi, welcome, Geek Ellie here, and in celebration of World Watercolor Month, I just picked up 4 new watercolors from Daniel Smith. I'm just going to take a look. All 4 of these are colors I have never used before, and I picked these up at my favorite local Orlando art supply store, Sam Flax. And the colors I got are Jaune Brilliant No. 1, Quinacridone Sienna, Lunar Blue, which I have used before but needed more of, and Coral Reef. So really 3 new colors and 1 old favorite. So if you're unfamiliar with World Watercolor Month, every day there is a prompt and a color that goes along with that prompt. For example, there was one of the previous days was cobalt teal blue, and the theme was ripple, and we painted this kind of plumeria flower, ripples, and water using primarily cobalt teal blue and a little bit of French ultramarine. It's been about a week of World Watercolor Month so far, and to kind of reward myself and try to encourage myself to stick with it, I decided to pick up a few of the colors I don't already have. Now, I definitely do not have all of the colors for the month, so some colors I will be mixing, kind of a close approximation, and some colors I'll use the actual color. I'm going to swatch our new colors today and test them out, and then we will use them later this month in a painting for World Watercolor Month. I'm going to put these in my palette, and I'm just going to write the color name on the side of the paint well. I'm going to start just by refilling my Lunar Blue. This is one of my favorite colors to use, and you can see it's almost empty. So we'll go ahead and fill that and then test it out. If you're unfamiliar with this color, it's beautiful. I first picked up just the 5ml tube in a Daniel Smith set. I think it was one of the Jean Haynes sets. And this was the first color from that set I ran out of. So definitely been a color that I use a lot. It's a beautiful granulating dark color. It does kind of wash down to this very dusty blue, but you can get a nice dark wash of it as well. And then we'll kind of see a little bit as it dries. It is a quite granulating color. I'm going to just paint a little blob of it just to see what it looks like. Now that one was an old favorite. Let's test out some of our new ones. So let's try this Quinacridone Sienna. I do have some of the quinacridone colors already, and this one does look kind of similar to the quinacridone burnt orange. I might compare these. I think the burnt orange is a little darker. It says, I was trying to look at the pigment information, that it is a mixture of quinacridone coral and gold and nickel azo yellow. So we'll see how that looks. This was probably one I could have mixed myself, but I wanted the actual color to try it out. I love trying new colors and then picking out, favorites that I'll repurchase. Some colors, might be a one-time purchase. And let's try this Quinacridone Sienna. I do love all the quinacridone colors that I have. So this one will be a nice addition. I do really like how orange this is. This is going to be a nice earthy color to add into some of my landscapes. I don't paint with a lot of red, so I feel like this is going to be a good kind of desert color. Really liking the way that looks. For fun, let's try mixing these two. What kind of like nice brown we get, nice neutral. And it's actually like a very nice neutral. I think these would go really well together in a kind of desert landscape scene. All right, so this is probably the color I was most excited for, this Coral Reef. It says it is pyrrole orange and titanium white. So because it has titanium white, I'm imagining this color is going to be a little more opaque. I believe this is a newer color. It's very thick compared to some of the other colors. And let's see if I'm right about it being a little bit more of a chalky, opaque color. That is beautiful. That's definitely something, you know, I could mix, water down, but I really like how this is going to be like a nice convenience light pink for florals, for sunsets, for highlights. That's really nice. Definitely can see that being a new favorite color to use. And then last of our new colors is Jaune, I hope I'm saying that right, Jaune Brilliant No. 1. It says it is aerolide yellow and titanium white. So another one that might be a little bit more opaque. This is a very, very light color. I'm imagining this being a really good mixing color. Like I do love, for example, it's very dirty right now because I use it to mix buff titanium for that purpose as a beautiful mixing color. So I'm imagining that this is going to be really good for kind of neutralizing some colors, giving them more of an earthy tone. We'll see how that kind of works with mixing. Let's just try mixing these two colors. Oh, and that's like the most beautiful skin tone peach, or at least like my skin tone. So I think that, you know, that would be really good if I ever feel confident enough to draw people. And then let's just kind of try mixing some other combinations here. Over here, I'm going to try the Jaune with some of the Quinacridone Sienna. Oh yeah, I think this is going to be a really good mixing color, because look at how, you know, that turned this into such a nice like clay red versus kind of more of this bright orange over here. I really like that. And then what about with the Lunar Blue? And we're just mixing right on the page here. We have fresh from the tube color, so it's very easy to mix straight on the page. I really like this nice gray that it gave me. It kind of neutralized the blue and left me with more of like a gray. That's definitely a really cool color. Now, what are some other ones we haven't tried mixing together? What about mixing the Lunar Blue and the Coral Reef? Ooh, that's such a pretty dusty purple. That's like a beautiful storm cloud color. I like that combination. There's the Lunar Blue and the Coral Reef. So I think we mix Lunar Blue with everything. Let's try the Coral Reef and the Quinacridone Sienna. We'll do that over here. And we're just doing this kind of color scape swatch board of these 4 colors just to kind of see what they're all doing together. Kind of getting a more pinky orange. I like that. And I think we've mixed everything. So we have everything mixed up for our 4 new colors, and I'm really liking some of the combinations we get. You know, I bought these not thinking that they would be something I would use in a painting together. I bought them for separate paintings, but really I can see like a clouds or just like dusky kind of desert scene that would look really cool with some of these colors. Also just like a sunset with like beach vibes, definitely getting a cool combination. I kind of want to try painting something with these 4 colors now, but these 4 colors will be featured later in the month in World Watercolor Month. But if you do need some inspiration with some new colors, I'm really enjoying these 3 new colors of mine and 1 old favorite. The Coral Reef, Quinacridone Sienna, Jaune Brilliant No. 1, and Lunar Blue as a new kind of inspiration palette. Thank you for watching.